The lines we guard. The tavern was in the fantasy city of Thornmere, where high bridges arched over silver canals, and lanterns floated like slow stars above the streets. The night gathered gently here, wrapping the city in a hush broken only by distant bells and a soft murmur of water. The door opened, and a ranger stepped inside. An owl perched on his shoulder, beat his wings once, and lifted back into the night, vanishing into the dark rafters above the streets. The ranger watched it go with a familiar trust, then crossed the threshold. The cat, draped across the warm barrel, flicked an ear in mild defense at the intrusion before settling again. Alex glanced up from wiping the counter and offered a quiet smile. I turned toward the traveler. My name is Lion. I keep the fire steady. I pour the drinks. I listen when the road feels long. And sometimes I tell stories that help travelers make sense of their own. I gestured to the chair across from me. And what is your name, traveler? Rowan, he said, in a voice low and worn. I'm a ranger in service to the Northern Kingdom. Well met, Rowan. Sit. Thornmere can carry the weight of long journeys if you let it. He sat heavily, eyes lingering on the door where his owl had disappeared. I guard borders, he said after a moment. Physical ones, lines on maps, and I'm good at it. But I don't know how to guard the lines in my own life. Rowan explained that his days were spent enforcing boundaries for a kingdom, keeping peace between lands, preventing trespass, holding the fragile shape of order. But when it comes to people, he admitted, I let them cross into my time, my energy, my patience. I say yes when I mean no. I give until I'm empty, and then I resent them for taking what I offered. The fire popped softly. I can defend a mountain pass, he said bitterly, but I can't defend an evening for myself. The cat opened one eye as if to confirm the irony. Many guardians, I told him quietly, forget that they are territories too. And so I told him a story. There was once a city that prided itself on generosity. Its gates were always open. Travelers came and went freely. Trade flourished. Laughter filled the streets. At first. But over time, the open gates invited more than merchants. They invited strain. Supplies thinned. The people grew wary. Resentment crept in, not toward invaders, but toward the city itself. The leaders feared that closing the gates, even briefly, would betray their identity as a welcoming place. So they endured. Until one winter, exhaustion forced a simple change. The gates would close at dusk. Not forever, not in cruelty, only in rhythm. And something remarkable happened. The city did not become colder, it became stronger. Rest returned. Generosity regained its meaning because it was chosen, not extracted. A boundary, I told Rowan gently, did not diminish the city, it preserved it. He stared into the flames. I worry that if I set limits, he said, people will think I've changed. And you have, I replied softly, but change is not betrayal, it is maintenance. Alex set a fresh cup before Rowan, steam curling upward. The ranger wrapped his hands around it. My kingdom praises sacrifice, he said. We're taught that endurance is virtue, that giving everything proves loyalty. And does it? He hesitated. It certainly proves exhaustion. The cat leapt lightly to the table between us. There is a difference, I said, between service and self-erasure. A border that cannot flex will crack. A wall that never rests will crumble. I don't want to become hard, Rowan said. I just want to stop feeling invaded. Boundaries are not walls to keep love out, I told him. They are doors that allow it to enter without destroying the house. Every relationship, I continued, depends on lines drawn with kindness. A boundary is a promise you make to protect what allows you to remain generous. Without it, generosity rots into obligation. Rowan nodded slowly. When I patrol the kingdom, I'm not rejecting other lands. I'm honoring my own. And you deserve that same honor inwardly. The owl's distant call drifted faintly through the chimney. To guard your own time is to acknowledge its value, I said. To say no is not to withdraw love, it is to shape it so it can endure. I've been afraid that if I stop giving endlessly, he admitted, I'll be less worthy. A drained well serves no one, I told him gently. A tended one sustains a village. The silence settled comfortably. I've been guarding everyone else's peace, Rowan said at last, while abandoning my own. What would a small boundary look like? One evening each week that belongs only to me, he said. No patrols, no favors, just rest. The cat pressed his head briefly against his wrist. A strong beginning, I smiled. Even kingdoms observe seasons. Rowan stood steadier than when he arrived. At the door, his owl returned in a silent sweep of wings, settling on his shoulder. Alex gave him a nod of respect. Rowan returned it. He stepped back into Thornmere's night, carrying the first sketch of an inward border. The fire crackled softly. If you have been giving without measure, consider what gentle lines might restore your balance. Boundaries are not rejection, they are care for yourself and for the relationships you wish to keep whole. Begin small, begin kindly, but begin. The tavern quiets as the hour deepens. Alex dims the lanterns until the hearth is the brightest thing in the room. The cat curls into a perfect circle, guarding the last warmth of the evening. I watch the door where Rowan departed, thinking about the invisible borders we all carry. Alex leans against the counter beside me. He'll keep that promise, he says softly. You could see it in the way he stood. I think so as well, I reply. Sometimes people only need permission to treat themselves with the same care they offer everyone else. Alex nods. Funny how the strongest ones forget they're allowed to rest. The fire shifts, sending a gentle wave of heat through the tavern. To protect your inner landscape, I say quietly, is stewardship, not selfishness. A recognition that your energy is a finite treasure. Alex smiles faintly, and treasures worth keeping are always guarded. We share a comfortable silence after that, the kind built from many evenings like this. If tonight's story stirred something inside you, let it settle gently. Boundaries are traced patiently with compassion for yourself and others. And in that patient tracing, a steadier strength begins to grow. My friend, the lanterns will remain lit and the fire will be warm, even when the door closes behind you. Return whenever the road feels heavy or when your heart seeks quiet company. Carry what serves you and leave the rest by the hearth. And know that this place and these words will wait patiently for you. Until then, travel gently and let the night watch over you.